Hey y'all. If you've come here from a previous episode, welcome back. If you've just come here, I kindly advise you to skip this episode and watch an earlier one in the series. I don't want to spoil something ahead of time for you. With that being said, let's go in search of Dr. Banner. Okay, so if what I'm reading to the top right is to be believed, his quote unquote house is on a lava planet. That is very concerning. Yeah, let's end this quickly. Sorry, just gotta waste this ammo now that I've selected it. Yeah. Moving right along. So as I was saying, a lava planet. Bruh. I'd be very concerned. Alright. You land on the planet and leave the spaceport to enter the city. According to Admiral Flynn's directions, Banner lived in a huge house on the outskirts with his wife. To get there, the easiest thing would be to rent a small transport ship that would allow you to move without much trouble throughout the big city. Head to Dr. John Banner's house. You insert the address in the ship and enjoy the views. The fact that Encliffe was home to the most prestigious space engineering university was no coincidence. The city shined with its own light, contrasting with most of the cities you have visited. From the higher up, you can see the gigantic monuments and institutions in the heart of the city. The open spaces and green areas stand out between a complex yet efficient network of streets and buildings that shine brightly in the light of the sector's star. The voice of one of your crew members brings you back to reality. Captain, we're here. You land the ship. The street is completely clear, and you walk for a while around the fence that limits the property of Dr. Banner. Just by the instance with which the Admiral had spoken of him, you imagine that his skill must have taken him to the pinnacle of his profession. But seeing his house certainly confirms it. You ring the bell at the great gate at the entrance of the enclosure, and an accented voice replies, I'm sorry, the owners cannot attend to you at this time. I'm Monica Schmidt, captain of the Interstellar Republic. From the communicator comes a sing-song voice that lets you pass. The gates open before you and you walk the path that leads to the mansion's porch. As soon as you ring, a middle-aged, simple-looking man comes out to meet you. You hold out your hand to introduce yourself formally, but he immediately turns around and begins to speak. Hello, Captain. I suppose you've come for the disappearance of my brother-in-law. Go ahead. My sister Anna is in the Great Hall. The poor woman hasn't picked herself back up since her husband's. Hmm. Follow him. The woman gets up when she sees you come in and addresses her brother. Howard? Who are they? Don't worry, Anna, it's the Interstellar Republic. They've come to talk about John. We're looking for Dr. Banner. Anna is surprised. Her tone rises from worry and sadness to become much more aggressive. You're looking for him? You're looking for him? To begin with, none of this would have happened if the Interstellar Republic had not been interested in John. He has spent years in your service, embroiled in countless dangerous missions, and you show concern for him only now that he has disappeared. Why didn't you protect him? You risked his life more than once for your cause. We'll take care of finding him, but we need to know what happened. Anna takes a deep breath and begins her story. It all started a few weeks ago. John was undercover aboard a Children of the Sun research ship. He swore to me that it would be his last mission, and there would be hardly be any risk. The days passed and I knew something was wrong. John contacted me a couple of days later. The mission had failed, but he had managed to get out of there alive and was on his way home. The last time I spoke to him, he was in a village called Zaya. He told me that he was being followed and that as soon as he could, we would get on a ship to flee. It's been almost 2 weeks since that last message. We'll start looking around there. Howard, please go with the captain. You've been to Zaya more than once. Besides, you saved Captain Scott several times before the war. You've told me hundreds of times. Please protect the captain and help them find John. If you fought with Captain Scott, we could use someone with your experience. Thank you, Captain. Don't worry, I know Zaya like the back of my hand. With me, we'll go completely unnoticed. Finding us will be like looking for a needle in the whole galaxy. I know Howard Huggins. He was in the prologue. Oh, that's funny. I'll leave it to you all. I don't want to spoil the surprise. Play the prologue if you haven't. It's quite funny. Set course for Zaya. All right, now that my business in the sector is concluded, back to it. Combat simulation training. Hmm. I'm going to tell them to focus on aiming. All right, let's move on to Zaya. I thoroughly encourage you all to do as many side quests as possible, including on the planet. Some of them are well worth it. Let's finish this. Don't know why it stopped there abruptly, but anyway. Oh dear, this isn't going to go well, is it? You land in the shadow of a gigantic dune. As soon as the hatch of the ship opens, you feel engulfed by a wave of extreme heat. But you would take this infernal heat 1,000 times over spending another second with Howard Huggins on the bridge. The man was well meaning. It might even be admirable that he has agreed to come here to save his brother in law. Perhaps that is what has prevented you from abandoning him at the most dangerous station you know. Yes, of course. Wait, Captain, I'm coming too. No way you're staying on the ship. Here? By myself? It's not that I'm afraid, Captain, but I would feel much more at ease if I could stand beside you to ensure your well being. After all, you know absolutely nothing about this city. Someone must remain on the ship in case there's an emergency. You advance in a group through the city in search of answers. The streets are guarded by the Children of the Sun's patrols. The situation is dire. Until now, their presence on the Republic planets has been limited to small, isolated centers. Seeing the city dominated by them is a window into what could happen if the Children of the Sun take control of the galaxy. After a few hours in the city, you begin to feel that the locals are giving you the cold shoulder. No matter how much you try to go unnoticed, a greeting is enough to attract people's attention, who then quickly turn away from you to flee. It is to be expected with everything that is happening. No one is going to be willing to let some strangers get them in trouble. This is going to be a lot more complicated than I imagined. You continue wandering the city well into the night. People begin to disappear from the streets, and a loud alarm warns for the approaching curfew imposed by the Children of the Sun. Your attempts to discover Dr. Banner's whereabouts have not been very fruitful. The best thing to do is to rest until the next day. You look for accommodation in the city with the intention of spending the night. After searching for a while, you decide to go to an inn far from the center. You go up to the room, starting to plan the strategy for the next day. The sound of someone knocking interrupts you, though. Open the door. You open the door to find a woman with violet eyes dressed in a dark outfit. There is no doubt that she is not from this planet. Captain, I have to talk to you. Let the woman come in. The woman comes in and updates you on the situation in the city. The Children of the Sun arrived weeks ago, led by Commander Novak. They quickly ended the little resistance they encountered, taking complete control of the city. The strong and young men have been arrested and transported to the old SMC processing plant, which had been reconditioned for weapons manufacture. Having taken over the planet, the commander had left a small patrol guard to ensure control of the plant, and prevent the locals from revolting. The Children of the Sun's cargo ships came regularly, providing the resource materials and loading up new cargo to distribute among the troops deployed throughout the galaxy. Why are you telling me this? One of the men they took with them is my eldest son, Michael. When the Children of the Sun took over the city, They began looting and recruiting among the most capable locals to turn them into guards under the orders of Commander Novak himself. Many rejected his offer, believing that Zaya could repel his invaders, but they were wrong. Novak began publicly executing any dissident against his government, and the idea of a possible counterattack soon died out. We hid as best as we could to avoid detection, but they were on our trail. Michael let himself be discovered in order to protect me from the Children of the Sun when they raided the inn where we were staying and opened fire on Novak's troops. The soldiers managed to disarm him and were about to finish him off when one of the prisoners they had chained up said something. The man began asking Michael questions about some of the plant's operations, and then they took him away. I don't know exactly who he was, but from the look of him, it was clear that he didn't belong in the city. It's very likely, but can't we just access the plant? All this dialogue, there is very few, if no commas. It's making it very difficult to say it all without breathing first. Anyway, we could do this if we had access cards on one of the SMC's top officials. The doors of the facility are always open to managers. Crew member Ramirez. Perfect. And where can we get it? The woman takes off her jacket and tears the inner lining. She puts her hand in the hole and takes out a little ID card with her photo. I hid it immediately when the Children of the Sun's attack began. If they had found it, they would have killed my son without hesitation. Killed my son and I without hesitation. The guards will sound the alarm if strangers enter through the front door. You read the name and you are immediately surprised. That woman was none other than Catherine Jones, one of the SMC's board members. She and her son had arrived in the city just a couple of days before the attack. Unlucky enough to have been trapped after the Children of the Sun seized their ship, as well as the security teams. Catherine Jones. I know, but it's our best option. Before the Children of the Sun's declaration of war at Tasset Stella, I met Commander Novak on more than one occasion. If I'd know him as well as I think I do, he wouldn't kill me right away. One of the council members trapped by his own men would give him the recognition before Admiral Narthos that he so desperately desires. Once inside, it will be up to you. You must find Michael and the man you are looking for. As soon as we have the slightest chance, we'll get the hell out of here. All right, we'll act at dawn. Right, now, it's brought me back to Planet View, where it looks like we've got to go into the SMC plant. Let's proceed. As according to the plan, you wait until dawn and advance to the processing plant with the woman bound and gagged. It does not take more than an hour to arrive at the facility. The complex consists of several industrial buildings connected to each other. On the huge walls, you can see visible marks of combat. You approach the main gate and see the access terminal. Swipe Catherine's card through the reader. With a thunderous noise, the gate is pushed aside, allowing you to pass. A group of guards stops you inside. What are you doing? Commander Novak has not informed us of the arrival of new prisoners. We've caught a big fish. You show the access card and the guards smile at Catherine. Well done. We'll escort you to the commander. I'm sure he'll want to see her with his own eyes. The guard turns around and you follow him through the facilities. The facilities have changed enormously. The Children of the Sun have modified the machinery, and where all the material was processed from the extractors of the SMC. Now hung hundreds of half assembled rifles waiting to be sent to the troops deployed throughout the galaxy. You go up the stairs to the top floor, where you stop in front of the door through which the guard makes you pass into the room. Inside, you find a stern, heavy-set man. He turns to you and cannot help a look of surprise. Commander Novak. This is a good one. Catherine Jones trapped in one of her own facilities. The man approaches and with his huge hand grabs her by the chin. You look terrible, Catherine. It took me a few seconds to recognize you, but how could I forget those shining violet eyes burning with fury? The woman moves Novak's hand away with a violent nod. We caught her trying to flee the planet. Novak keeps staring at Catherine and barely pays any attention to you. Yes, well done. Now leave us alone. Miss Jones and I have a lot to talk about. You leave the room worried. Somewhere in the plant, the prisoners were being held captive. You have to find them and release them without attracting attention. As if that wasn't complicated enough, you have to manage to get Catherine back from Novak's filthy hands. You walk through the corridors of the complex until you reach a large room used for storage. In it are the different vaults where, in all likelihood, the SMC kept material for future processing, all locked shut with the keycard system. Open the vaults. As you open the airlocks, small groups of people leave their cells frightened. In the last chamber, you notice a man lying on the floor. You quickly approach to check his condition, and it seems that he is just unconscious. A boy approaches the group while you check the man's wounds, and you notice the strange color of his eyes. You must be Michael. The young man nods, confused, and looks from side to side. Where is my mother? Has she come with you? You remain silent for a few seconds. Telling him the truth could be counterproductive. The last thing you need right now was for the boy to do something crazy. Don't worry, she's fine. The young man sighs. This man, he was with us until a couple of days ago. He was in charge of the maintenance of the factory and of instructing the prisoners during work days. As soon as Novak returned to the plant and saw him with us, he separated him from the group and took him to this cell. We haven't seen him since that day. There is no doubt he is talking about John Banner. If Novak has gone to see how much trouble with him, has gone to so much trouble with him, sorry, it is because he recognized him. Surely by now a small fleet was approaching Zaya, for the man Admiral Nartis is so desperately looking for. Crew, get the prisoners out of here. You leave your crew in charge of the prisoners as you head towards the room where Catherine and Novak are. The woman helped you to infiltrate the plant by letting herself be taken prisoner. You cannot leave her here at the mercy of the children of the sun. As you move through the plant, you start to get more and more nervous. How the hell are you going to do that? Catherine is being held captive by the commander. To open fire on him would set off alarms and put not only you in danger, but also the crew and the prisoners making their way towards the exit. Enter Novak's office. You open the door and immediately recognize the smell inside. Commander Novak wipes his hands on a rag with a mocking gesture as he looks towards the chair where Catherine sits unconscious over a pool of blood. The woman's face is shattered by repeated blows. Go ahead, we're done. Miss Jones has been a tough nut to crack, but with a little diplomacy, we had a most fruitful talk. You can take her with the rest of the prisoners. Don't bother to clean it. I'm sure it will send a clear message of what happens to those who don't cooperate. Something ignites inside you. The wisest thing would be to get the woman out of here as fast as you can, and this seems like the perfect opportunity. Yet you are still standing in the middle of the room, petrified. Time stands still as you look at Novak and allow yourself to be carried away by anger. This man, the man who leads a great deal of troops, who have wiped out so many of your friends, who killed Scott, who has tortured an innocent woman with no regard. For a second, you completely forget the mission. The only thing that matters is the here and now, and there is nothing you wish more for in this moment than revenge. Commander Novak, are you deaf? Take her at once, or you'll be next. Screw it, Novak won't get out of here alive. You jump straight at the commander, tackling him to the ground. Taking advantage of the surprise, you pin him down and punch him as hard as you can in his stupid face. The blow leaves his nose crooked and splutters and as he struggles to free himself. What the hell are you doing? I'm going to gut you alive! You keep hitting him. Without a second thought, you strike again with all your might. This time you hear your knuckles crack against his face, releasing a gush of blood from his shattered nose. Narthos, he will find out about this. Keep hitting him. Ignoring the pain in your knuckles, you keep hitting the commander's head repeatedly. This is not even a fraction of the suffering the man has caused. Please, keep hitting him. Novak stops talking and falls unconscious. Vapor rises from his completely disfigured face in the cold of the room. This is justice. The man deserved that and much more. Free Catherine and flee. You leave the commander's office while helping Catherine to get up. Both of you head towards the plant's exit and hope that the group of prisoners trying to escape have not been detected. Before the astonished look of some of the guards who do not even dare to ask what has happened to the prisoner, you arrive at the room that leads outside. A sound catches your attention. It is your crew crouching behind the machinery. Go towards them. Once together, you look towards the entrance flanked by the two guards who let you in, while at least three more men patrol the corridors. It is possible that with a surprise attack you could clear a path to the outside without taking too much damage, but it would put the prisoners in danger. You act as bait with the crew. You have to get the prisoners out alive. They have suffered enough as captives of the children of the sun. To think of what could happen to them if they get captured again gives you the chills. You would choose to die here 1,000 times if that means securing the freedom of Dr. Banner and the rest of the prisoners. You gesture towards your crew, who understand at once. Everyone nods at the same time. You knew you had been right about them. You have made many mistakes in your life, but entrusting your life to these people has not been one of them. Open fire. Done. That was fast. While you keep the soldiers at bay, the prisoners manage to get out through the exit hatch next to Catherine. This is the end. The guards continue to pour into the room almost faster than you can finish them off. The frenzy of battle has separated the group, and you no longer even know if your entire crew is still alive. But if you are about to die, you swear you are taking down as many children of the sun with you as you can. A thunderous volley of blasts open the wall of the room. An SMC ship fires at the gangways, causing multiple explosions among the machinery where the rubble falls. The ship is concentrated on your enemies, giving you a chance to flee. Run towards the exit. Get up and run for the exit hatches as fast as you can. The room is about to collapse. Using one of the guard's keycards, you manage to gather outside. The ship stops attacking and moves to land near you. The gangway opens, letting you on board while Howard Huggins awaits you inside with a smile on his face. Come on, Captain, this is no time to look at the scenery. I never thought I'd be so happy to see you, Howard. Huggins, disregarding your orders, left the ship to go in search of you. Luckily, he found the prisoners who had gone outside, picking them up in one of the ships accessible to SMC workers with the right credentials. He had disobeyed your orders, endangered the operation, and saved your lives. Crew set course for the ship. You direct the small SMC ship towards the desert where you landed. You have to leave the planet immediately. The children of the sun will find out about this soon, and you do not intend to be here by then. The prisoners will come aboard your ship. Leaving them in the city would be too risky for them, and you do not have time to drop them off around the planet before the children of the sun's ships arrive. You land the ship, and the crew and you quickly go to your posts to prepare to take off. Mission accomplished. Alright, everyone. I hope you enjoyed watching. We will continue this at a later stage. This concludes the end of episode 2